Hello learners, I am Parikshit and welcome to another very exciting session on Unacademy CAT-alyst. In today's session, we are going to talk about the do's and don'ts of quants preparation in your last few days, the last leg of your CAT preparation. How should you prepare so that you maximize your score in this section of the CAT? Remember, Quants is one section which a lot of MBA aspirants often fear and in fact hate. But I would say this is in fact the easiest section in your CAT paper, right? Just make sure that you get the do's and don'ts of quants preparation correct in this last few days and you will be 99 plus percentile in the quants. So let's get started with today's session. Okay, this was me, your educator on the platform with the highest live class rating. Thanks to my learners. A lot of batches starting on Unacademy in the next few days. The 25th of August, 2 batches started for CAT 2022. And on the 28th, a practice drill batch starts for CAT 2021. In this batch, I'm going to take LRDI. And remember, this is your final chance to get enrolled with us on Unacademy Plus for the final leg of your preparation. In this practice batch, I'm going to make sure that we are going to do every type of LRDI question that has ever come in the CAT or in any mock paper in the last 25 to 30 odd years. Every type of question, every concept, all important revisions will be done such that a week before your exam, you would be able to say that yes, I have the confidence to do well. So I'm taking LRDI. Lokesh sir is taking quants and Bhagyashree ma'am and Karishma ma'am will be taking verbal in this particular batch. Make sure you enroll. This is one of the last batches for CAT 2021. And if you enroll with us on Unacademy Plus, remember to use the code which is there on your screen, Parikshit Live. You will get maximum discount if you use this code. Also, if you use this code Parikshit Live, you will get free mentorship. I repeat, free mentorship from my side, and mentorship is all about going beyond your class hours to help you with any queries that you might have at any point of time. Let's get started with today's session. Okay, the do's and don'ts of quants preparation for CAT 2021, right? That's the topic. Do's and don'ts. Correct? Most of you get this part wrong. Do's and don'ts of quants preparation. Now, I would say the first thing first regarding your syllabus completion. Now, ideally, obviously, 100% of the syllabus should be completed. But many a times we would consider practical difficulties because of which we realize that not everything is possible to do. So at a minimum, what you need to do, I would say the order, I will give you the order of importance. You know that the most important section is arithmetic. You definitely got to master this. Most important is arithmetic, followed by algebra. Correct? Then followed by geometry and mensuration. Geometry and mensuration. Okay, I'll put it together. Followed by PNC probability. PNC probability. And then you have number system. Then you have number system. Correct? You definitely got to ensure that the first two, okay, if you're not able to finish all the 5 blocks, these two are must do. You got to master this. Master these 2 topics. Yes. Correct? You are going to master these 2 topics. Correct? And geometry, even if you are not able to master, you can't leave out. You can't leave out. You got to study and prepare for this. Prepare for this. I am not saying this is the best way to study. I'm not saying this. I'm not asking you to leave out PNC and probability and number system. But at a minimum, and I would say this is a smart way of preparing, arithmetic, algebra, and geometry got to be done very, very, very nicely. What are the chapters in arithmetic? There are 7 chapters in arithmetic. Let's quickly write it down. I'm not going to write the entire thing, but in a short form, we can definitely write. What are the chapters in arithmetic? Remember percentage, then profit loss discount, then ratio proportion variation, then simple interest, compound interest, then average mixtures, alligations, then time and work, and last is time, speed, and distance. These 7 chapters, you got to do it so nicely that every question from the last 25 years of your CAT paper, you got to solve it. Every question from these 7 chapters that has occurred in the mock exam, you got to solve it. Every question that has been there in my class PDFs, you got to solve it. These 7 chapters will form the core of your quants preparation. If you are able to master the 7 chapters very nicely, chances are that you will easily clear the cutoffs in the CAT. What's the percentage of arithmetic questions? Around 35% weightage. 35% weightage. Algebra will be around 25% weightage. Geometry around 15% weightage. Correct? And the remaining, how much it is? 40, 75, right? I think geometry will be in fact more than this, around 20%. Around 20%. And this will be the remaining. This will be the remaining, if any. Remaining, if any. And there can be some miscellaneous topics. Sometimes they might ask you a question on mean, median, mode. So miscellaneous topics, trigonometry. So such topics will be the remaining. But arithmetic and algebra forms the core of your preparation. What is there in algebra? In algebra, if you remember, the topics are linear equations and simple equations, then quadratic equations and higher order equations. Then you have modulus, then you have inequalities, then you have functions and graphs, then you have maxima, minima, then you have logarithms. Correct? So these 7, 8 chapters, you got to do it very nicely. You got to do it very nicely. If you are able to do arithmetic and algebra, you can easily clear the cutoff in quants. Now, having said that, you know what to do. Now, how to do is the next part of it. What have we just discussed? We have discussed what to do in the next 75 odd days. What to do in quants. That has been answered. Arithmetic, algebra, geometry, and then you can obviously you get some time, you will do PNC, probability and number system as well. Now, how to do? Next part is how to. Correct? Okay. Now, what you need to do next is, I always stress on a spreadsheet. Remember the spreadsheet that I talked about in one of my earlier videos on LRDI and verbal. I'm going to use a similar spreadsheet for quants. Now, you are going to use your Excel sheet in your laptop. Open an Excel, okay? What you're going to do, just write down the chapter names like this. Let's say you're going to write down percentage. You're going to write down profit, loss, discount, ratio, proportion, variation, dot, dot, dot. Every chapter name you're going to write down. First, you will write down arithmetic, all 7 chapters, then all chapters of algebra, then chapters of geometry, mensuration, and so on. And then here you are going to write down mock 1, mock 2. Let's say, I believe that till now, many students on an average would have written 5 mocks. If you have not written 5 mocks, not a problem. You write 5 mocks and then you can follow this strategy. Mock 3, mock 4, mock 5. And this will continue, okay? This will continue. I'm just showing for 5 mocks. Let's say question number 17 in mock 2 was from percentages. Question number 1 in mock 4 was from percentages. Just write down the question number. Then profit, loss and discount. You know what? Question number 3 in mock 1. Question number 9 in mock 3. Question number 11 in mock 4 and so on. And also you color code, okay? You know what? You can either color code or you write down whether you got these questions correct or wrong. As an example, let's say this was question number 17 and here it is question number 15. You know what? At the end of 5 mocks, do an analysis and find out of these 5 questions from profit, loss and discount in the mocks, how many you got correct. How many you got correct. If you have got any number between 3 to 5 correct, out of the 5, if you have got all 5 correct or 4 correct or 3 correct, your basics are clear. You don't have to spend a lot of time on the basics, but focus more on attempting moderate level, practicing moderate level and higher level questions. But out of these 5 questions at the end of 5 mocks, if you realize that out of the 5 questions from PLD, from profit, loss and discount in the 5 mocks, you got only 1 out of the 5 correct, then something is wrong. What is wrong? You probably need to go back to your class notes and do those questions once again before you actually start writing the next mock. This is your weak area. This is your weak area, and you got to focus on it before you go to the next chapter. Remember, you might not be able to do this for every chapter, but at least do this, okay? Do this analysis for every chapter in arithmetic and algebra. In arithmetic and algebra. Sometimes some of you might be very weak in quants. You know what? When you give a mock, there is a table. If it is a good mock provider, they will give you a table, okay, during the analysis, the solution of the mocks. And they will divide the quants into 3 parts. They will say easy questions, moderate level questions, and difficult level questions. And then they will classify it. Question 2 was easy in the mock. Let's say this is a mock 1, okay. Question 7 was easy, 9 was easy, 10 was easy, moderate was 11, 13, difficult was 17, 18, 19, and so on. For people who are not very good in quants, or if you have a lot to study, you don't want to get frustrated. What do? You can leave out the difficult questions. You don't even have to look at the solution of the difficult questions. Leave those out for the moment. At least focus on all the easy questions and the moderate questions. At least focus on the easy and the moderate, so that you know that by the end of September, if you have solved 10 mocks, every mock, every easy and moderate question has been solved by you. Remember, 70% of the paper is gonna comprise of easy and moderate section. Even if it is worst case scenario, not more than 30% of the paper will be difficult. Not more. And 30% I think is a too high a number. I'm quoting on the upper end, right? It'll be less than that. But 70% of your quants is easy and moderate. So please make sure that when you write the mocks, every easy and moderate question has been analyzed by you, solved by you after looking at the solution, and find out whether if you are able to get these easy and moderate questions correct in your CAT, correct in your mock, correct? So the analysis of this spreadsheet, I think, will form the basis to determine which areas you got to focus on in the next 3 months of your preparation. Remember, the 7 arithmetic chapters and the 8 to 9 algebra chapters, that is the meat of your preparation. You got to put extra emphasis, and by the time the CAT comes, every question from these 2 blocks, arithmetic and algebra, has been solved by you, has been revised by you. Correct? Okay. Now, next part. Next part of the discussion is how many questions should you be attempting? How many questions should you be attempting? Now, for those of you who are okay, who have done this analysis, determining the strong areas and the weak areas from the spreadsheet based on data, the next part of your preparation would comprise of how many questions should you answer. Again, remember the quant section is 40 minutes. The quant section will be of 40 minutes. 40 minutes. How many questions are we expecting? Any number of questions between 25 questions to 22 to 25 questions. 22 to 25 questions is what you expect to get in your CAT. Now, out of these 22 to 25 questions, a good attempt definitely would be 50% correct. That's your target. 50% correct is your target. Anything more than that is awesome. But 50% correct is what all of you should target first. If you're able to achieve 50%, then go ahead. Have the next target, 60% correct. But minimum greater than equal to 50% correct. Now, how do you solve this? Remember, in LRDI and in verbal, if you have looked at my videos, when I talked about the strategy videos for verbal and LRDI, I told you, first look at the passages. First 2-3 minutes, determine which passage or which puzzle you are going to solve in LRDI or verbal. Quants, it is not possible. Why? Because 99% of the questions in quants are gonna be single questions. It's not a set. Remember, LRDI, one question, one set, 4 questions. But in quants, it's an individual questions. So if there are 25 questions, you can't be clicking 25 times just to determine which chapter it has come from. So what you should do is, you should divide those 40 minutes into 3 areas. You divide the 40 minutes into 3 areas. Correct? 15 minutes, 15 minutes, and next 10 minutes. 10 minutes. When I say 3 parts, what do I mean to say? I mean to say solve the entire quant section in 3 parts. Divide the 40 minutes, 15, 15, 10. Okay? In the first 15 minutes of your CAT paper or while giving the mock, you should attempt what we call sitters. These are one-liners, two-liners, or formula-based questions. Questions which you have done before. You see a one-liner time and work question, you know that, oh, this is something I've done in the class, you feel happy about it. Go for it. Solve it in the first 15 minutes. Okay? What else? Based on familiarity. Remember, most of you, if you are following my advice, will prepare arithmetic and algebra very nicely. So you search for those arithmetic and algebra questions and try to solve as many as of them possible in the first 15 minutes. If a question is, let's say, half a page or 3/4 of a page, remember, don't solve it in the first attempt. Don't solve it in the first attempt, because definitely in quants there are easy questions, and many a times you see that the easy questions are dispersed across. They are not the first few or the last few. They are dispersed. Question number 3 can be easy, 9 can be easy, 17 can be easy. You got to find out such questions and solve it. If your target is to solve 50% correct, probably you are trying to solve around 13 questions correct in quants. 13 correct in quants. You know what? In the first 15 minutes, you will try to solve at least 6 to 7 correct. 6 to 7 correct. Why 7 is possible? Very much. Why? Remember, these are sitters. We are only talking about sitters, and you are getting 7 correct in the first 15 minutes. And when I say first 15 minutes, 7 correct, I mean to say you have gone through all the questions. You click on question number 20, look at it, okay, one liner, let's attempt it. Otherwise, 5 liners, let's leave it for the next round. Go to the next question, 21. In this way, the first end of 15 minutes, at the end of 15 minutes, you should have reached the very last question. You should have reached the very last question, which is question number 25. Are we okay? 25. So what has happened at the end of 15 minutes, 6, 7 questions, you have got it correct. Also, in these 15 minutes, you are going to do one more very important thing. While navigating, let's say you are at question number 19, you are at question number 20, and then there is question number 21. Question number 19 is very difficult. You have absolutely no clue. Fine, you can leave out. Go to question number 20. 20, when you read, you spend 30 seconds and then you realize you are not getting the answer. It is too much of calculation intensive. You want to come back to this question. Fine. What do? You mark this question. Mark for review or flag for review. You hit the button, mark for review or flag for review, and then go to question 21. 21 is easy, solve it. End of 15 minutes, you know what? When you start the 16th minute, round 2, you have got at least 5 to 6 questions which you have clicked as mark for review, and moment you see question number 20 is marked for review, you immediately go to question number 20 and try to solve it now in the next round. Try to solve it now in the next round. Correct? So what has happened in round 1, you have also decided which are the questions that you are going to target in the next round, and because of which you have marked such questions for review. So immediately in round 2, pick up those questions which are marked for review and try solving them. Your target should be to get around 4 correct. Your 4 correct in the next 15 minutes. Why not 7? Remember, these were sitters. So the sitters, the easiest questions, in 15 minutes you get 7 correct. So obviously the next level of difficulty, you won't be able to get 7 correct. Initially if you got 7 correct, now the difficulty level has increased. It's no longer your comfort area. So you might get only 3 correct or 4 correct. I think it is good enough. Even if you get 4 correct, super awesome. Correct? And the last 10 minutes, I think the last 10 minutes, you see the timer on your screen, you will see 8 minutes remaining, 6 minutes remaining. Your hand shivers. Many of you would shiver. Many of you would have a lot of tension that the timer is going to end. Your paper is going to end in the next few minutes. Remember, it's the last section. You'll be exhausted. Your hand might shiver. So the last 10 minutes, I would suggest leave it, okay? Leave it to solve. Leave this 10 minutes to solve. Leave it to solve calculation intensive questions. Calculation intensive questions. Very important because you know what, the last 10 minutes, if your brain is not functioning at 100% efficiency because you are shivering, because there's a lot of pressure, the timer is going to end, you will not be able to utilize a lot of brain, frankly speaking. So what do? You do something which is mechanical. What is mechanical? Calculations. Any question which you have got stuck in round 1 and round 2 because it involved a lot of calculations, or probably you see there is question number 22 which has a lot of calculations you never attempted, but now is the time you're going to attempt it. Why? You know that this is the time your brain doesn't function much and you want to probably use the calculator, use it manually. And this 10 minutes, you should try to get at least 2 correct. You will not be able to get more correct because there will be a lot of pressure. Exam pressure is different than when you are sitting here and listening to me. So try to get around 2 correct. And if you can do this, you know what? 7 plus 4 plus 2, your target, your total is 13 correct, and your overall target of getting 50% correct is achieved. If you are able to get 50% correct, trust me, the chances are it will be a 99 plus percentile. Sorry, 99 plus percentile in your CAT. So this is how you are going to prepare. Now, when I say do's and don'ts of quant preparation, is this what you're going to apply only on the day of your CAT? No. This is you're going to try out in the mocks. You're going to try out this strategy. You're going to fine tune this strategy depending on your needs, your wants. Something which might work for person A might not work for B. You try out this strategy, what I talked about, right? At least in the next 3 mocks that you attempt. Fine tune it and see if it works. Trust me, this is gonna work. This will work for me. This will work for a lot of my students in the last 8 odd years. And if you try this well, it's gonna work for you as well. So this is the strategy that you're gonna follow. The next thing is, okay, I know what to do. What to do? How I know that I need to do arithmetic, algebra, geometry, that order. I know what to do on the exam day, but how should I prepare? What should be my source of preparation in this next few days? Source of preparation, right? That's also very important. The next 3 months, from where should you prepare? Now, I think first one is my class PDFs. My class PDFs. We have spent nearly 200 hours in quants doing every chapter wise, every topic chapter wise. Around 200 hours of my videos are available. Around 200 hours of my videos are available on Plus, and around 200 hours of my PDFs are available wherein we have solved every topic chapter wise. You got to complete that first. Class PDFs. If you are not a Plus student, you might wish to enroll to Plus. But let's say you still don't want to enroll to Plus, you are preparing from your book. Fine, please go ahead with whatever book you are preparing. You can continue with that. The second is mock questions. Mock questions, right? Mock questions. Remember, before your CAT, your target is to write around 25 mocks. 25 mocks. So 25 mocks on an average will have 20, let's say 25 questions. One mock, 25 questions. So 25 mocks will have 25 into 25. On an average, I would say 625, let's say 600 questions. These are some very, very nice quality questions. You're going to complete them. And the third is last 25-year CAT papers. Last 25-year CAT papers. Okay. This is again something that you are going to solve. Last 25-year CAT papers, you're going to get around thousands of questions. Thousands of questions. 1,000 questions. Right? You are going to complete that as well. This is the minimum that you are going to study in the next 2.5 to 3 months that are left. You got to complete this no matter what. If you are serious about your CAT preparation and if you aspire to get into IIM Ahmedabad this coming year, right? At a minimum, you got to do this with emphasis on arithmetic, followed by algebra, followed by geometry mensuration, followed by PNC probability, and then you would go to number system. I'm not saying number system is less important, just that last 3-4 years it has not come much. It has not come much. The next thing that you need to do is find out your speed and how many attempts where you stand currently. Right now, you know what to study, the source of your preparation. The next is you got to first figure out where you stand now. Where you stand now. Where you stand now, I think, is very, very, very important. Where you stand. Let's say now most of you tell me that you get around 6 to 7 questions correct. You know what? You get around 6 to 7 questions correct. 6 to 7 questions correct. Fine. Do not target 13 in the next mock. From 6, if you are at 6, try to do one more. Try to do two more. So you follow a stepwise process. From 6 to 7, your target should be 8 to 9. From 8 to 9, target 10 to 11, and then you can target 13. Follow a step-by-step process. If you are at 6 to 7, next mock, after you do what I have told you, when you write the next mock, your target is to reach here, 8 to 9. Moment you have reached 8 to 9, you get your accuracy set, accuracy is correct. Next, you try 10 to 11 and so on. You never try to come from 6 to 7 directly to 13. That is not going to happen. It is only going to lead to more and more frustration. So don't do that. Don't do that. Yes? Fine. And I think what is also very important, and I must tell you, that you practice questions from mixed topics. Very, very important. As an example, if I were to tell you, right, let me just open this. If I were to tell you, you know what, I'm solving time and work questions. For the last 5 days, if I'm solving time and work questions, I'm very comfortable with it. But for the next 20 days, if I don't solve time and work questions, and on the 21st day, I come and start solving time and work, I don't feel that easiness, right? So it's very important that you keep revising. And when you revise, your revision, right, should be mixed topics, especially in quants. When I say mixed topics, what do I mean? Your brain should be easily able to switch from, let's say, question number 1 on geometry to question number 2 on number system to question number 3 on functions and graph to question number 4 on trigonometry. It should immediately be able to move to and fro and switch between topics. That is very difficult for a majority of us, and it is with this very reason I am coming out with a complete practice course on quants. Complete practice. It's going to be a mixed topic, all chapters, 3 months. Every chapter we are going to revise, not chapter wise. I'm going to do mixed revisions. Previous year questions, mocks question, last 25 year previous CAT questions, last few years mock questions, this year mock questions. Every important concept will be discussed in detail and practice. This particular course is starting from September 1st, Wednesday. Coming Wednesday, it starts 10 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. And every Monday to Friday, we are going to have this course. Every Monday to Friday, we are going to have this course. I'm going to come out with practice course once in the month of September, then another practice course for once in October, and then another third practice course in November. This is my first practice course of a series of practice course that I'm going to begin on Unacademy Plus. If you have not joined Plus, I think now is the time. The last few days, you can go for a Plus subscription. And along with Quants, I am also Monday to Friday, Quants 10 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. And a weekend batch I'm starting. It's a weekend batch. Starts on the 4th of September every Saturday and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. in the morning. We are going to do a mixed revision for LRDI. So all of it is available, but all of it is available only on Plus. And if you want discounts, remember this is the code. Parikshan Live is the code which will get you maximum discount on the subscription fee. In addition, if you are looking for free mentorship, remember the only code which will offer you free mentorship from me is this code Parikshan Live. And mentorship is all about going beyond the class hours to help you. If you have any doubts during a class, anyone, I'm going to clarify it. But beyond the class hours, if you have any doubts, let's say while preparing for mock papers, while trying to solve questions at home, while trying to prepare your timetable, and if you have joined Unacademy Plus using my code Parikshan Live, you will also get free mentorship in addition to the discounts. A lot of students often ask me, sir, if I join using your code, do I get access to only your videos and your classes? Absolutely no. Why? You are not subscribing to me, an educator. You are subscribing to the Unacademy platform, and because of which you will get access to every educator who teaches on Unacademy, be it Quants, Verbal, LRDI, and from any educator, even if you join Unacademy using my code Parikshan Live. So Parikshan Live, you get discounts, Parikshan Live free mentorship, and Parikshan Live code will get you access to all educators on Unacademy. That is it for today. I hope you enjoyed the class. A few announcements. A lot of discounts are going on Unacademy. If you enroll now, there are 20% discount, right? 20-45% discount. These are the discounts. And if you use my code Parikshan Live, you'll get additional discounts and mentorships, right? So don't forget to use the code for additional discounts to addition to what you see on the screen. Same for Iconic. Additional, already a lot of discounts and additional discounts. Use the code Parikshan Live. And there's an MBA 2021 mock test marathon. Do enroll for it. And yeah, a big surprise awaits you this Sunday. Definitely enroll for the Unacademy mocks for free. And for free, if you are a first time user, they'll ask you for a code. You can use my code Parikshan Live. It'll get you free access. That is it for today. I hope you enjoyed the class, and I'm going to see you in my next class. Till then, goodbye and stay safe. Bye for now.